I'm Margaret Ann Windsor, and this is the second video to the real monarch, Queen Victoria II. I just put it up. I was responding to Emily Craig. I'm told that she's going before Parliament again, claiming she's heir to the British Crown. And I have spent quite a bit of time, because how this woman has gotten so much time, and she's been to the UK before. She's had a blood test done, DNA. She's not part of the royal family. She's certainly not the illegitimate daughter of my father, Edward VIII. He has been so defamed. I'm going to say it again. I put it on this video and so many more. He was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor, and they were still alive and living together, married, in October the 20th of 86 when I came to Roanoke. Now, a double married Wallace Simpson, and that's who's married at Windsor Frogmore in graves as the royal family, which is a total lie. What a sick joke they've accomplished and pulled off. Anyway, she's claiming this, and I've put this up prior on the video, so maybe you'll care to go back and watch it if you haven't. When she found out she came out first and had all this beforehand about her date of birth and when her mom got pregnant, and actually she was adopted by a Russian family. I meant to see the name where she went to school. It's an extension of outside the CIA in McLean. What's the name of that school up there? It has two names. I should know it. But anyway, had an extension out there, and that's where she finished college, and she had a degree in communication. So she's had access to all this. She's speaking and all this, and people have really helped her. And it's beyond me, because she has no proof, because that's not who she is. In fact, when she contacted me and she heard of me on Facebook, and she'd already dated herself with all this. She had been writing lies and has some things, I believe, published on Amazon. She has since. Point is, she's gotten away with all this. And she had her mother getting pregnant, which would have been about 1944. She was born in 44 or 45, so you figure it out. I guess I could, she's probably on Wikipedia for all I know. Anyway, when I came out, and she didn't know about me, and she didn't know about the double. So she's claiming she's the daughter of Edward VIII, or the Duke of Windsor. Well, or the Duke of Windsor. She's not the daughter of Edward VIII. And it is appalling that so much lies have been told about my father and my mother. My mom's sister to artist Georgia O'Keefe. She was a school teacher from Madison, Wisconsin. The O'Keefes had money. She had a home way back then in Beverly Hills. And I got a picture. A friend of mine sent me a picture of the home that's still standing. It's still a lovely home. And I'm running around her daughter, homeless, begging, and her grandchildren, God knows where they are. My father, she's married to my father in October. They lived together all these years. They took his name too and they did things to the O'Keefes. I'm talking about the global government that's in power now under the guise of the United Nations up in New York City with the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, who control your media completely. Now, where am I going with this? I'm going back to, I was born in 39, kidnapped in 42, because my father was forced out with lies, total lies. The Archbishop of Canterbury did not want my father to marry my mom, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, a school teacher. I don't think my mom was Catholic, but anyway. He opposed it. In Winston Churchill, there's this whole bunch of lies that the bad people are made look good. They took my father down with character assassination and all this crap. Kidnapped his daughter, me, the only daughter he had, or child, So I'm going to leave it there. He had papers drawn up that were legal, that should he have an heir would inherit. The minute I was born, I was Victoria II, the legal heir to the British Crown. George, the illegal George VI, helped take his brother down, certainly helped in my kidnapping with JFK, and whose father had been appointed U.S. ambassador to England in 1936 when my father became king for the total purpose of taking him down. JFK helped kidnap me and bring me to Moulton, Alabama, where they gave me another name. Peggy and Carl, the twins, were born out of wedlock, illegitimate. Then you get into this illegitimate title, which is Wallace Warfield Simpson was illegitimate of birth. Nowadays, they don't say that or try to. I grew up being told I was Peggy. My name's Margaret Ann Windsor. So that is Peggy's nickname. So they really put all this together. There was even a Philip put in there after me. Okay, I'm not going to go any further here. I'm going to go back and try to get this up on the video. Let me switch hands. I got problems with my hands now, I think, from doing this for so long. They go numb. Anyway, I was responding to someone told me again that Emily Craig is going back before Parliament. My question is, they know she's not the monarch. They know I am the real monarch. So what is this purpose of her having been there? She went to Switzerland or one of the countries, Denmark, where my relatives are the monarch there. They're my cousins, just like Elizabeth, are the ones that were back then. They've had their granddaughters are now kings or queens, but they're still second, third cousins mine. Even though they might not say it, I don't know. I'm going to say this. It was a few years ago, about the time that Elizabeth Smart was kidnapped. I think that's when it was. I don't know, Elizabeth came over about that time. It's when she came over and all the press is covering her. And somebody covered this, and that's the only time I saw it. It was the royal family had come together up New Hampshire, there on the coast, and they said something about they weren't there to celebrate whatever was going on. They were there because they wanted me included because I am the monarch, and they did make this statement, and I was going to be added to the royal family, as I should be. And it seemed like there was something about Elizabeth when she went on the computer, when 2000, I don't know when this happened, okay? Part of it, I may be confusing a bit, but my family, some of them didn't let me down because this was the monarchs from Finland. I don't know about Netherlands because that's where the Henry Kissinger and all of them, the sorry sot, the global people, went in, and maybe they're victims themselves. It started out that way. I don't know now because they're part of the Illuminati, and way up there with Elizabeth in top 100 and way up more than that close to the top. So anyway, they did support me then. Now then, back to this. Why this woman has gotten away with this. She's been on, she's got people, she knows how to speak. That was her degree in college, communication. And she's had people help her. But what I meant to, she was over in Switzerland or Finland, Denmark, one of them. And she went over there. I think she got it paid for her trip and was, anyway, one moment of her being treated like me here, she couldn't handle it. She had to sit in a bus station or a depot or something, and with no food and I don't know, she ended up getting on the plane, had to get on the plane to get back to the U.S. But there's also questions about her identity that I've written about. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but some of it seemed pretty. There's there's a question if about her connection to the top people in the Illuminati. I'd have to question how she got there. That she worked in the State Department a few years back, about 3 years ago, to put it bluntly. Now, I don't know. That was, well, anyway, let me get to this. Why she's going back before Parliament and claiming she's a legal monarch, that she's the illegitimate daughter of Edward VIII. And that really kills me when she gets away with it. She has taunted me and said things when she knows better. Her DNA doesn't even match. Okay, let me switch gears to this. I wanted to get up. I had just put a video up. It didn't go. One of them did, I just put up, but the other one didn't. I don't know what happened. So I'm doing this one again. I do not want to hurt this woman whatsoever. Her name is Princess Jodie Mountbatten. Okay, Jodie contacted me about 4 years ago at least. It was 4 years ago, maybe a little bit more, I don't know. 4. She'd seen me on Facebook. Now, she's friends of Emily Craig. So you can't be friends of a girl that's claiming that my father is her father when she's a liar. I researched this, and I want to say this, I researched it, and now then, I put a video up, but God knows I don't know which one. It would have been a few years ago that I put it up, and there's so many. She says she was born in 44 or 45, and that her mother was at an army base in Germany and became pregnant, had a one-night tryst, she said, with the Duke of Windsor, which she's claiming is Edward VIII, of course. And that's a lie. That was not my father. It was a double, married Wallace. So now then, I come in, and she's dated herself. She was on YouTube and all this before I ever was, few years prior. So she's got all this. She didn't know about me. Okay. Now then, I went back. First of all, she came back and she wanted me to go and help sue the estate, or what was left of it, of Wallace Simpson, who married the double. But that estate was given to them. All the money, where she lived when I didn't have a home. I was in a pigsty living down here in Alabama. And nothing against Alabama. I mean, Kennedy JFK helped kidnap me. His dad was made U.S. ambassador to England in 1936 for the sole purpose of taking my father down, because he wouldn't follow their orders. Then they kidnapped his daughter, and you know what that must have done. What was it the black gentleman minister said to me, walked up to me, and he said, I'm a bishop, they can't hurt me. He says, they took what you love the most. He was talking about me, and he was talking about my father and mother. I was taken from them, and then my children, I pray, are safe somewhere, and I see them again. And by the way, I've said his name up on here. I don't know if he's still alive. He was from Roanoke. He had been away. But anyway, I've never seen him again. Spencer Mann. I believe he's deceased now. I'm not sure. Anyway, back to Emily Craig. The estate was given under the guise, whether they knew it or not, they were supposed to be giving it to my father, Edward VIII, who was supposed to be the Duke of Windsor. So the estate should have come to me because they're illegal. They should have been in prison, first of all. So now she wants me, Emily Craig, wants me to help sue her. And it would be odd if you look up who got the estate. I mean, the money's gone everywhere but to the legitimate person. The whole thing, and my father and mother's name so tarnished. History's such a lie. So now, I want to say this. Elizabeth Taylor did, after Wallace died, it was auctioned off by Christie's and God knows what else. A brooch. I've forgotten how much that cost, but she had it. And anyway, I'm going to get away from that. It's odd. Google and see who ended up with the estate. It might shock you. Some of Jodie, what was not Jodie's? What was his name? That was supposed to have the affair with Diana. Somehow, her part of her family ended up. If I haven't gotten the names mixed up, Google it and see who ended up with my money. What would have legally been my money? Oh, this whole thing is about stealing the money. Now, let me get back to this if I can. Her mother, Emily Craig's mother, supposedly was in the army at an army base in Germany and became pregnant on a Memorial Day weekend. Now remember, she was born in 44, 45, so 9 months prior, on Memorial Day. It's when she said her mother became pregnant. Okay, on an army base in Germany by the Duke of Windsor. Well, that's not my dad, first of all, but she didn't know that. This is a little later when I come out, and I've proven her wrong. Now, at the same time, she's also said that her mother was in Arkansas at an army base, Memorial Day, the same Memorial Day. And so she's she's there getting pregnant at the same time she's in Germany getting pregnant by the Duke of Windsor, who's a fake. Are you kidding this? And anyway, when I researched the Memorial Day in Arkansas and found the illegal Duke and Duchess of Windsor, Wallace and the double, they were meeting on Memorial Day weekend with John Roosevelt, son of FDR, the President Roosevelt, who installed, I'm losing it here, I'm tired, Joe Kennedy as ambassador. So he's part of the Illuminati and the global government and the takedown of my father and my kidnapping and my children, what happened to us. And the Roosevelts, Eleanor, they were so much a part of it was the kidnapping of Anastasia the Romanovs by Woody Woodrow Wilson, who was born up here in Stanton near Charlottesville, and that was Anastasia that was murdered. And she was murdered on a Sunday I heard about it at 9 o'clock when, oddly enough, coincidence, I'm driving the car furnished by Larry Flint, who helped me in the campaign and was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia when I was doing the book about mind control. He was shot by a program shooter. Now here I am driving his car, and she's killed not long before I come through there on Sunday, May the 84th, either on the 4th or the 6th. It was on Sunday at 9 o'clock, I heard it. Now they've changed all that. They've gone back and changed what happened to her. So anyway, she was Romanov, and there was just some intestines left, and they claim when they did the DNA that it wasn't her. Well, it was her. Yes, indeed. So you think I could get a DNA that would... Who they're going to match it against? My dad? You don't even have in it the doubles in the grave over there. You would have to get the O'Keefes or one of the Windsors would have to give you DNA. Anyway, I am who I am. The Brits have told me, for God's sake. And it fits what I'm able to remember now. When I was told, I always knew, but I couldn't tell you that my father was Edward VIII and my mom Claudia Ruth O'Keefe. I do remember a lot of it now. Now I'm back to